All right, thanks, guys. We'll get right into it. Your characters are kind of dicks.
You stole my question.
You play them very well, though. Tell us what it was like being a villain. It must have been fun.
Yeah, it was fun for me. I think I had just done before that I'd finished That Awkward Moment, and before that Shailene and I had just finished The Spectacular Now. So I was kind of looking for. I wasn't necessarily looking to play like a villain, and I use that word lightly because I think the way that Peter's character really kind of comes full circle. He's pretty conflicted, but yeah, for me it was just wanting to do something different, get off the lighthearted comedy stuff and beat somebody up.
It is always fun to play a villain. Yeah. I would have liked to have been even more villainous. But, yeah, look, I think, hero stuff's always great. I remember the first sort of gig I got out of the States, I played a villain. And I remember being, acutely aware at that point that I wanted to shake it up before a pattern kind of formed. But yeah, no, for this particular project, it was a good opportunity to go back and be a prick.
I'll piggyback off of that question. Is that between this and Jack Reacher, you're a really scary guy. I don't know if I want to. I'm glad that I know
you
that you're
can
just
take
an
it,
actor.
man. It's an illusion.
Yeah. Tell me about the headspace that you get into for these, really intimidating, aggressive roles like this.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't require much of a transformation for me. I think you just have to kind of. I mean, I probably have a tendency to try and, you want to try and make your character as likable as possible, even when you are playing someone who's not supposed to be. And so that's probably the challenge is, remembering that, you're not supposed to be liked. And Neil I would try and just instinctively, I guess, be a little more charming or something with the character. And he was always telling me to kind of just make it dead and flat. And, but, Eric's interesting because, I don't think he's there. I mean, his attitude might kind of reflect the fact that he's a dick or whatever, but he's, in the early part of the training, there's a drive there. He wants the initiates to be as fit and strong and, as they possibly can. So, he's not there to be a dick. It's just his kind of way, his method, I guess. And, I think that's highlighted by the relationship with Four and, their kind of dynamic.
It's pretty funny. Like when we first got up there, we were, we'd be doing like this fight training, working on our fight stuff, and she'd be like, "Oh, Sutter," and like, "Stop, stop! We're not doing that shit now. I'm beating you up, little girl." But yeah, it's cool. I think anytime you're more familiar with an actor, it allows you to just be, more honest with them. And so Shailene and I would be doing a scene, and if the scene wasn't working, we could just kind of almost not direct the other person, but it's like we didn't even need like Neil so much to help us kind of figure it out. We could just be like, all right, this isn't really working here. But yeah, I've been saying like falling in love is hard. Learning a fight scene is easy.
There was a fair amount on out and about. Obviously, everything within the kind of the compound of the the Dauntless faction. That's all in a studio. It wasn't a ton of green screen.
Yeah, I didn't really act on a green screen.
They would kind of
a lot of abandoned
extend
buildings.
Landscapes with a green screen, but the sets were they were pretty incredible.
For a big budget movie, these were the shittiest sets I've ever been on. This is by far the biggest budget I've ever done. I was expecting like, the red carpet, and it was pretty much all like abandoned buildings in Chicago that were leaking when it snowed, and there'd be rats around, and Shailene would be like, "I want an inspection," and stuff, and then
that's true, actually, yeah.
So
there was like
all,
asbestos issues and all sorts of.
Yeah, it was. It is what you see. It was pretty grimy. That warehouse was cool with the fight training and stuff. That was the first stuff we shot.
Did you guys actually go out on the Navy Pier, or was that somewhere?
Yeah. So we shot out there a couple of nights.
They shut the whole thing down.
They did.
Yeah. And then I climb it with Shane. I kiss her.
I love that
That's
moment.
Theo.
Oh,
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Deleted scene.
Yeah, deleted scene, bonus feature. I feel like, for me, acting wise, obviously it's the same. It's like you don't adjust your acting. You're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we shot on the same camera. Yeah, well, actually not Spectacular. Now that was film, but yeah, there's a lot more angles. I mean, Spectacular now you're doing a lot of stuff like in one shot or two shot. We get about 3 takes. This you're really breaking it up. I mean, you'll get 20 takes at one line from 6 different angles.
Oh.
So I'd say really it's just kind of the stop and start. You're pacing it out. The trailer was better, a lot better. More time in for my hair and makeup. And the scope of this was a lot bigger. I mean, at any given time, there's like 10 of us in a scene. I don't think I really got any one-on-one scenes. There's always people there.
Yeah.
So I guess that was different for me. But yeah, you're sitting around. I mean, I'd be on set 12 hours to kind of just like, wipe frame or be in soft focus in the background fighting.
Yeah, I've heard things before like the big movies that can just kind of steamroll over actors. Did you feel like your acting was taken, like you were given the right?
I feel like my acting was taken advantage of. No, I mean Neil's a good director, but one of the main draws for a movie like this, and the reason why you put it on IMAX is for the visual, magnitude, the visual presentation of it. And with that being said, yeah, maybe in a particular scene it's more about the shot than it is what you're doing. But Neil is, he gave me everything I needed. If anything, it's just like, hey, you got to have the stamina to do, 20 takes as opposed to an indie where
We
do
found
like
that
3
too,
or
though.
4.
It was like there was so many adjustments for camera,
Yeah.
rather than performance.
Yeah.
And you might find on a smaller film that, the emphasis is the other way around.
I mean, I would think I would be Divergent because I think I'm special and different. Yes, if you
I'm straight
remove
up,
that bowl,
straight up dauntless, dude. They eat burgers
Well,
and
yeah.
jump off buildings.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
figure it out.
yeah. I guess I'd probably be the same.
You'd be abnegation. Surely.
Selfless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's you.
yeah.
It didn't require too much makeup. The tats probably took the longest, and that's just because they're a bit sort of fiddly. But no, I had a lot of input, and it's funny because, showing up with the reference from the book that he has long, greasy hair and, too many piercings on his face to count was like, all right, cool, this will be fun. And that's the first thing we went for. I was like, cool, let's just go for it. And
I remember when you first walked in the trailer.
Yeah, I had this weird Jesus wig on and fucking spikes hanging out of every pore. But it looked ridiculous pretty much. It was it was good for a laugh. And then it was this funny session where we were, it was myself and the makeup supervisor and the producers and Neil in a room, and we pretty much just dialed it back till it reached a point where, I don't know, everyone was kind of happy. And it's funny because I think on the page, an idea like that might sound scary, the image of it, but put into reality, it's just pulling focus, and it's that's all you're looking at is, and so it was about kind of taking that idea, but moving on with it. And I think you reserve the right for kind of license in those areas, even though it might piss off some of the kids.
As a follow-up to that, have you had any fandom backlash, anything weird about changing things like the character or anything?
Eric's
strange?
entourage is strong.
Yeah, no, yeah, I got a
Strong
strong
and growing.
backing, man. Yeah, no, they're just rolling with it. I don't know, probably. I don't really tap into
Internet.
yeah, I'm still on dial-up at my house, so I'm not no. But I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Purists always have an attitude towards things. I remember doing Reacher, people were up in arms that Tom Cruise was playing that guy, but it's you get on with it. It's you're not recreating the book, you're adapting it. training for me
Yeah.
was the easiest process I've ever been through on any movie because I didn't
You
do
didn't
any.
do it.
I showed up the day before I filmed, and you guys were at the end of a boot camp,
Yeah.
and yeah, that was
You
it.
just went in the hair and makeup trailer and figured out your bolts.
Yeah, I just started. Yeah,
That was about it.
yeah, that's it. Just
We're
glue
up
things to
there,
my face.
yeah, for like 2.5 weeks. And both our stunt coordinators are just complete badasses. Like the one of the head guys, Garrett, he's got a eye patch, and he has that because he was a guy attempted murder on him, shot him in the face, and he survived. And he's an absolute.
That's a true
psychopath.
story.
Yeah, exactly. I've partied with Garrett a couple times. And then this other dude, JJ, who's like special forces and stuff. So it was, they weren't treating us like actors. It was a lot of push-ups, a lot of sit-ups, a lot of like knife throwing, a lot of like gun tactical work. But no real injuries. Shailene got beat up on this movie a couple times. I remember running to the train. She like slipped and fell on the
She
track.
said she took a stab.
Yeah, took a pretty nasty fall there.
Yeah.
But we're all.
Zoe got hit
we're
in
all
the face
game.
with a trailer door.
Yeah, did she? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't funny at the time.
Well, yeah, Peter. I mean, I guess on the page, I thought he was a little more one-dimensional. Especially when I read the book, I was like, "Oh man, this guy's he's just like mean all the time. He just says stiff after every sentence, and he's just always kind of like picking on her." So for me, it was nice to, just kind of get in that headspace, and yeah, it was the kid. He's very competitive. He wants to be the best in that program, but also he's pretty mischievous and conniving. And what I learned is that you don't have to care about people. You don't have to worry about who likes you, and that's fine sometimes.
I don't know if I learned anything from Eric.
You spent some time with him.
I did spend a little time
You got
with
pretty
him.
drunk with him a couple nights.
A
Right?
couple nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's a good question.
I liked watching your dynamic with Four.
Well, that's probably the.
Because I saw a lot of history there when you guys first started doing a scene that.
Yeah, it's fun playing those kind of stakes and being like, even if you're on the kind of, even if you're the guy who has the attitude problem, it's always good to kind of get into that. It's a little media, but yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with his approach to things, but I don't judge him either.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited about Terminator. I think it's gonna be.
I can't wait for Fantastic
it's gonna
Four.
be. It's gonna be really, really nice.
I think we probably should have been cast the other way around. We both.
I auditioned for Terminator.
Well, I passed on yours.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
No, I know.
That's not true. No, very, very excited, man. It's going to be good. It's weird to think that they're coming up so soon.
Yeah, I'm heading down to Baton Rouge in like 2 weeks for that, and then we start April 7th. Excited for the way the cast came together. I'm excited for Jamie Bell. He's a guy that I remember watching him whenever Billy Elliot came out. I mean, I was pretty young. I watched that movie with my mom like multiple times. So he's great. Kate, I think he's really fantastic, especially in House of Cards recently. And then Michael B, who apparently I'm doing movies with for the next 10 years because like every
Keeps happening.
yeah, it just keeps happening. And then like another something gets announced, but yeah, I'm excited. I think Trank's a pretty inventive director, and I think that we're gonna have a lot of fun with this franchise for the next few years.
It must be interesting looking at your schedules because there's going to be Divergent sequels and then new franchises.
Yeah.
You guys really are
We've
booked.
given them hell between us two. and
Yeah, I
given
just
them-
got cleared
Yeah.
like a week ago, but there was about a 3-week kind of scramble to get insurance and everything together for this.
I don't think
Kate
the-
Winslet actually
the
moved
folks
her
at
schedule
Summit
around for me.
aren't too happy with us,
Huh?
but that's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. I just made sure mine was finished before Jai's.
Yeah.
As they fist pound. I don't know if it's something that I necessarily look
Yeah.
for, but it's it's nice when you do have when people are excited about something or people, want something. At the same time, you also get a lot of these things that have recently come to light. They're called internet trolls, to where it's just like, as soon as you're announced as anything, people's like, stupid, like, worst decision in the world, and this and that. And as much as you're not like thinking about it, of course, I know that, with this role of Reed Richards comes a lot of, that was my dad's favorite comic. Like, a lot of people have an opinion on that guy. And we're doing something, pretty different with this. So yeah, I think it's, it's nice that your work will be seen, because I've done some stuff that really hasn't. And yeah, if you want to be a big movie star, whatever it is, you got to do some, big films and take some risks. So, yeah, I'm excited to kind of latch onto this character for the next couple of years and put my stamp on something that somebody else has already done. That's what I'm excited about, to kind of reinvent it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's funny, because like quite a few of the things I've worked on have some sort of, following, whether it's, a pre-existing franchise or, there's been a couple of book adaptations, and I've never really thought about it, whether that's something I chase. I don't think it is, it's not, I don't think there's a fast track to anything by latching onto something that's already popular, whether even if it's in another medium. But yeah, I mean, people talk about the pressure of that, and I don't think about that too much. I will say that I knew nothing about these books when the role kind of was made available to me, and I when you research that and kind of see that they are kind of largely popular, and it's like that was definitely intriguing. I mean, making the decision to come on board came down to the creative people involved, but it's like, all right, cool, well, like, this thing could be really good, it could be really big, it could be really popular, and I think that's only a positive thing.
You want some successful movies on your resume. I mean, it's like, you do them for the art all the time, and this and that, but yeah, it's nice to have one that makes money.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a part of just like a bunch of flops.